Welcome to Lab 6 in 70-741, installing and configuring IP address management, or also known as IPAM. We're going to be walking through the installation and configuration of it, and also be looking at how to migrate to IPAM. So understand that IP address management is a feature that was introduced in Windows Server 2012 that provides an administrator with the ability to plan, manage, track, and audit the use of all IP addresses in the DNS server within the network. IPAM requires several steps to successfully configure the server, discovery, and address space management. The planning stage is fairly simple, but the servers, services, administrators must all be configured carefully to enable the feature adds full value, to ensure the feature adds full value. So we're going to begin by connecting to our server 1. I'm going to click on. That should bring it out of its hibernation. And I'm going to click console. And there we are. I'm going to go ahead and press the Control-Alt-Delete button on the top of my screen. And I'm going to click right here. Our password, of course. And we'll just wait a moment for our desktop to come up. Well, I typed the wrong password. Let's try that again. Capital PA11WORD. I liked it a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and I still had the DHCP manager up from our last lab. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And we're going to begin exercise 6.1, which is installing IPAM on a member server. So where do we go to install roles or features? That's right, manage, add roles and features. On our wizard screen, we click next. We're doing a role-based or feature-based installation, so we click next. We only have our one server that we've set to manage, so next. At the roles page, we're going to click next. This is a feature that we're going to install. And right here is IP Address Management IPAM Server. I'm going to select that and click Add Features. And then we're going to click Next and Install. And as soon as the installation is finished, this will be your first screenshot in step number 10. Okay, so the magic of video, our installation only took about 10 seconds when it actually took a minute or two. We can go ahead, if you've got your screenshot now of it being successfully installed, go ahead and click close. We're moving on to exercise 6.2. So we're going to provision this. We're going to configure IPAM now. IPAM provisioning is the process of allowing the IPAM server to configure and manage the necessary features and functions of the servers, services, and domain objects required for IPAM. So we're going to do this using PowerShell. So I'm going to click Start, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell it to run as administrator just to be sure. Here's our PowerShell window. And remember, when we're doing this, use tab complete. Saves you a lot of typing, also saves you typing errors. So we're going to type invoke dash IPAM. I'm going to hit tab. I'm going to wait a moment for it to pick up on the instructions. And yes, that is the first command that I want, invoke dash IPAM GPO provisioning. I'm going to press space. I'm going to do dash DO for domain and tab. There's filled it in, dash domain, space. My domain name is adatum.com. Got to type that in. Another space. Dash GPO pre, and I'm going to hit tab again. There we are, GPO prefix name, another space, and then I'm going to do IPAM1, another space, dash IPAM SER. Yes, IPAM server fully qualified domain name, IPAM server FQDN. Another space, and we're installing this on lun svr1.adatum.com, and I press enter. It asks us, are we sure that this was what we want to do? Yes, we do want to do this. So we select yes, and we're running the command. So as you can see, this is creating group policy objects, it's linking them, and we're done. This is your next screenshot. So in our second exercise, step number 4, take a screenshot of this and paste it in. If you've got your screenshot, you can go ahead and close the PowerShell window. Now, using our server manager, most of the things we do, we go to tools and then bring up the consoles. We're going to do this from server manager. We're going to click IPAM. It's going to take a moment. And we can see there's a number of steps that we need to do, a number of tasks. We're already connected, so step 1's done. What we're going to do is we're going to do step 2, provision the IPAM server. So we want to click on that. And what we're going to do now is on the IPAM wizard screen, we're going to click Next. On the Configure Database, we're going to leave it to use the Windows Internal Database at WID. We're going to click Next. For the provisioning method, Group Policy Base is already selected, and that's what we want to use. So we need to give it a group policy prefix. We're going to use IPAM1 as the prefix, and this will create our group policy objects and prefix each one of those with IPAM1. I'm going to click Next. I'm going to click Apply. And it's now working on provisioning. Once this provisioning completes, take a screenshot and paste it into step number 12. It should create 3 group policy objects, 3 group GPOs. We should end up seeing an IPAM underscore DHCP, an IPAM1 underscore DNS, and an IPAM1 underscore DC underscore NPS, which we do see right there. Our security groups have been created, database groups, everything was done successfully. Grab your screenshot and paste it in. Once you've done that, click Close. Now, leave this open and let's go over to our LUN DC1. On LUN DC1, we're already logged on. If you're not, go ahead and log on. And we're going to go Tools, Group Policy Management. On my Group Policy Management, I'm going to move this over a little bit. Seems like we got to do that an awful lot. You'd think maybe they'd change that. We're going to expand the forest. We're going to select domains and expand that. And we're going to select the datum.com. I'm going to go ahead and expand that. What are the 3 group policy objects that were added? Well, default domain policy was created when we created our domain, correct? Here's our 3 new group policy objects, and they're already linked to our domain. So question number 1, which 3 GPOs were added for IPAM? Type your answers in, and once you've typed your answers in, go ahead and close the Group Policy Management console. Staying on our Lund DC1, we're going to go to Tools, Active Directory Users and Computers. I'm going to expand our domain, and I'm going to select the users container. And if we look here, we can see here's an IPAM UG, an IPAM universal something. Let's double click on this. And what type of group is this? It's a group. See the two people? That indicates that it's a group. If it was a single indicator of a person, it would be a user account. This is a group. We can see the group name is IPAM UG. The domain, the group scope is universal. The group type is security. So it is what type of group? It is a universal security group. Question number 2, what type of group is a IPAM UG universal security group? Click the Members tab. Which member is in the IPAM UG group? Well, we've only got one member, and that's our Lund SVR1 computer member server. That's your answer to number 3. Click the member of. It's not a member of any groups yet, but we're going to click Add, and in the text box I'm going to type Enterprise Admins. I'm going to tell it to check names. Yep, that was good. I'm going to type in Event Log, check name, and then I'm going to click OK. You'll notice it filled in readers. That's what we want. Enterprise Admins and Event Log Readers. Click OK. And it adds this group as being a member of those groups. Go ahead and click OK and close Active Directory Users and Computers. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to reboot our Lund DC1. So I'm going to click Start. I'm going to click the power. I'm going to say Restart. And under the reason, we're going to say Operating System Reconfiguration Planned. Select that and then click Continue. Now we need to wait a minute or two for our domain controller to restart. Once it restarts and is operational again, we're going to go back over to our Lund SVR1 and continue our setup of IPAM. So while this restarts, which should only take a moment, I'm going to give this a little pause. Okay, so my domain controller has restarted. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to log back into it just to be sure. And we're starting back up. Server Manager should come up here in a moment. Yep, there it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over to Server 1, Lund Server 1. And we are ready to do Step 3, Configure Server Discovery. So we'll go ahead and click on number 3. And we get a dialog screen like such. And it says, in the Configure Server Discovery dialog box, select the root domain and then click Add. So do we have a root domain? Do we have anything? Nope. Let's click Get Forests. Okay. Should take a moment. Don't have anything there yet. You'll notice There's a little message back here. Let's see if we got any information yet. Nope, still waiting. If we don't have it, what we need to do is we need to close the discovery, wait about 2 minutes, and then try again. Well, let's see if we really have to wait 2 minutes. I'm going to click on it again. Oh, didn't have to wait 2 minutes. I never paused the video. There it is. Our forest, our root domain. And we're going to click add. And it is now listed and shows the server roles to discover. Now we can click OK. And we can see domain selected is 1. At this point, we're going to click step 4, start server discovery. Now, this is going to take a few minutes. We're going to wait until it's done. You can see it's running. See the little bar going across the top? See it there? We've got to wait for that to complete. And we can also see what we're doing down here in our lower section. Server discovery is running. So we're going to need to wait a few minutes for that to complete. And as step 29 says, this could take 5 to 10 minutes. So during this time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause the video. Well, I don't know on your screen, but it didn't take me 5 to 10 minutes. And down here I do see server discovery shows ready. So at this point, I'm going to come back up to our task screen. I'm going to click select or add servers. Okay. Well, we do see our DC1, but it's blocked. See the access status? We're going to right click on DC1 and select edit server. On the add or edit server, we want to change the manageability status from unspecified to managed. Also, make sure that DC, DNS, and DHCP are selected. Go ahead and click OK. Now, we want to right click and we want to refresh server access status. Okay, it's going on. I'm going to go ahead and press F5 to refresh my screen. Now it says managed, but it still says blocked. But we do say managed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to say retrieve server, all server data. So here again, okay, just finished. Let's right click and refresh again. Or I'm sorry, press F5. Still seeing the same thing. Let's right click and I want to refresh server access status. Press F5 again, and now we're good to go. We're unblocked, we're managed, and access is unblocked, and we got a green check mark. So it took a couple tries. So we had to go through this. We went through each one of those steps in step 33, and then we started the instructions over. So we did a refresh server access status. We refreshed. We right-clicked. We did a retrieve all server data. We did a refresh. And then we had to go ahead and go back to the refresh server access status once more, and another F5, and then we were good to go. And we are unblocked, and we can continue our instructions. So now I'm going to go back up to the top left of our Server Manager IPAM, and I'm going to click Overview. And we're ready to go to step 6, retrieve data from managed servers. So again, this might take a few minutes. And you can see now it's discovering data. It's running a discovery. If I move over here and we scroll down to look at our scheduled tasks, I don't see anything running there. But up here we can see it says there's one or more tasks running. Please wait for their completion. So I'm going to go ahead and press F5 to refresh our view. Let's see if anything happened. I'm going to go over here to IPAM address space blocks. And we don't see anything yet, so it's not done yet. So I'm going to go back up to Overview. This can take some time. Well, everything looks okay there. Let's go ahead and we're going to select address blocks again. Well, still don't see anything. Our server's there under step 5. We just need to get data. Okay, so we're already up to 24 minutes on this video. I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here, and then we'll restart in our step 36 in this exercise.